Hi, welcome to Little Baja Ceviche Style.
Hi amigos, vengan a ver esta semana nos enseñaremos.
We're the best ceviche bar in Corona. We're the original ceviche bar in Corona. We specialize in fresh ceviche. We've got shrimp ceviche, fish ceviche, Mexican scallops, ensenada white clams, which are really hard to find. Fresh Pacific oysters. Look at that. Every Wednesday after 3 p.m., we're doing $1 oysters and $3 beer at every location. Corona, Chino Hills, and Upland.
Thank you for coming to Little. See you again.
Also, shop, dine, approve.
Welcome to the City Park pop-up event.
Doing the community outreach is a great way to get everybody involved.
The city is so focused on getting everybody's input because this is a place that's going to be a city community center, and making sure it's the right fit for everybody I think is important. So I love this pop-up event.
It's just exciting to see the new changes that are coming to Corona. The city park, we want to see it look beautiful.
This park was actually our first introduction to Corona, and it almost dissuaded us from moving here.
It's very exciting to see what the
Hello, and welcome to the Library Board of Trustees meeting. The Pledge of Allegiance will be led by Trustee Towler Hayes. Please stand. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. At this time, I would like to call the meeting to order. First up, we have approval of the Library Board of Trustees meeting minutes of July 22nd, 2025. Do we have a motion? Do we have a second?
I second.
Okay, a motion was made by Trustee Heineman and seconded by Trustee Towler Hayes. Ms. Backus, will you take a vote? I guess.
I voted.
Okay, it has been approved. All items listed on the consent calendar are considered to be routine matters, status reports, or documents covering previous Library Board of Trustee items. The items listed on the consent calendar may be enacted in one motion. With the concurrence of the Library Board of Trustees, a trustee or any person in attendance may request that an item be removed for further consideration. Do we have a motion?
I move.
Okay, do we have a second? I second. Okay. A motion was made by Trustee Towler Hayes and seconded by Trustee Heineman. Ms. Backus, will you please take a vote? Oh, okay. That's okay, I got it. She says she has.
Chair Kennerly,
Yes, approved.
Vice Chair Leonard,
Approve.
Trustee Teller Hayes,
Approve.
and Trustee Heineman.
Approve.
Okay, communications from the public. Persons wishing to address the Library Board of Trustees on items listed on the agenda are requested to identify themselves and state the matter on which they wish to comment. No action will be taken on matters not listed on the agenda. The Library Board of Trustees would appreciate your cooperation in keeping your comments brief. Ms. Backus, are there any speaker cards from the public?
No speaker cards from the public.
Are there any written comments from the public?
No written comments from the public.
Okay. Moving on to administrative reports. We have a report to be introduced by the Community Services Director, Donna Finch, and a report given by Library Manager Danielle Whittington.
Thank you, Chair Kennerly. So we're excited to be here today to talk about all of the exciting things happening at the library. As you know, we are wrapping up our summer season. We had a fun-filled summer full of a lot of activities with Summer at Your Library, which we'll be providing an update on later on. But I wanted to just introduce some of the things that we have going on this coming month. As you know, we have our upcoming ReaderCon event that we are doing in collaboration with the Friends of the Library. It's the second year of this event. It was very successful last year, and we're excited to continue that event. Ms. Whittington will provide an update on that, and then I know we do have our Friends of the Library here, who I'm sure will also be speaking on it, so you'll get a double report on that one. We also want to discuss our continuation of the 1,000 Books Before Kindergarten program. Now that the school year is back in effect, we're excited to continue this program in collaboration with the Beanstalk, and Ms. Whittington will provide an update on what we're doing for that for this year. We also have an announcement on our upcoming events for the remainder of August leading into September. In addition to ReaderCon, there are a lot of exciting things going on that we'll be sharing. And then, of course, our monthly update on top titles for the previous month. So the month of July, we'll be discussing the top titles and checkouts for our fiction, nonfiction, and ebooks. And lastly, wrapping up the report, we'll have another incident update, which is a new addition we've been done for the last few months to our library report. Don't want to steal Ms. Whittington's thunder, but happy to report we don't have a lot of incidents going on, so that's always exciting, and we hope that that continues. So I'll go ahead and turn it over to our library manager to provide the report.
All right, thank you, Director Finch, and good evening, Madam Chair and trustees. So, as Director Finch mentioned, we have the Corona ReaderCon. We're having it again this year. Last year was our very first time having it, and we had a wonderful response. Again, I'm not going to say too much about it, even though it is in the report, because I'm pretty sure that the president of the Friends of the Library, as well as Jennifer Bowserman, our library supervisor, is going to speak more to it, and they could probably speak even more eloquently about the ReaderCon. But what I will say is that lots of the participants last year were really excited. We're having a lot of authors coming out. Even one that was a former Corona resident is going to be here, and it's free. And so it's a wonderful event for your families to come out and participate. And it's on Sunday, well after church, well after any other games or anything else that you've got going on Sunday. And so you have no excuse. We have a wonderful event for you at the library. So on Beanstack, we finally have our 1,000 Books Before Kindergarten. Originally, you would have to come to the library. We'd give you a little book that you would continually fill out, but now you can track it on your phone. And so if you read read a book every night before they reach kindergarten, which is around age 4 or 5, you'll hit that 1,000 books. And so every 50 books, the child will earn a prize. And new and current 1,000 Books before kindergarten participants can use Beanstack. And one of the great things about this, not only are the staff working really hard to put this on Beanstack, but it fulfills one of our strategic plan goals for actually FY27. All right, some upcoming events. Our Gilded Book Edges is going to be on August 28th. It's going to be in a couple of days. Unfortunately, we're already at capacity and have like a 25-person waiting list. It actually closed within 4 minutes of the registration opening. So lots of people are excited about it, and we're excited to offer it. STEM for Little Twigs is the first Friday of the month, starting on September 6th. Play Cafe comes back on September 10th and will go all the way until October 15th. That starts at 8:30 in the morning before we start, and it's for caregivers to come out and bring the children and have a little community of their own. And then also on September 18th, we have a teen financial literacy workshop for our wonderful teens. All right, top of the charts, Pokemon is back, and Demon Slayer is not too far behind. And then also our primary phonics sets are still very, very popular, as well as the World Book Discovery Science Encyclopedia. And then lastly, our ebooks for July, The Women by Kristen Hanna was our top ebook download. This is our calendar for September. Just a note that we are closed September 1st, which is next Monday for Labor Day. We will reopen on September 2nd on a Tuesday. On the Go will return back in September. We usually stop it in August since it is one of the hotter months of the year. And we want to make sure that Martin and Dario are not very, very crispy. So On the Go returns back in September, as well as Homework Center. And so we want to make sure that everybody knows all of the fun things and activities that we have here at the library. Oh, I want to actually go back. We have a coding class that's on Fridays as well. So if you know anybody ages 10 to 15 that want to learn how to code, we're going to have it on Fridays. And yay, we had no incidents this past month. And we hope that it continues. And it's nice to see all those zeros up there. And then lastly, looking ahead, again, we are closed on September 1st. September 13th, guided hikes is the history hike. You can register online. And September 23rd, our Library Board of Trustees meeting. We will have our yearly budget report, our policies update, and Vets Connect report is going to occur. Martin will be here, yay! And also ReaderCon just want you guys to remember, ReaderCon starts at 1 on September 28th. Are there any questions?
I have to read this. Excuse me, Ms. Backus, are there any speaker cards from the public?
No speaker cards from the public.
Are there any written comments from the public?
No written comments from the public.
Okay, Trustee Leonard, you had a question, comment?
And just one quick question. Since the homeschool booklets or the what gets used for homeschool is typically in our top 5, top 6 on a monthly basis, especially during the school year. Do we have enough to meet the demand that it seems to call for?
So far, I haven't heard any requests for more. It sounds like everything that they need is being offered through the library. However, if that were to change, or if there were an influx of homeschoolers that wanted to come and use our resources, we'd be happy to revisit that issue.
Okay, thank you. Trustee Taylor Hayes, you have any comments, questions?
I just have a comment about the Gilded Book Edges. The Facebook reel was so cute and so creative. So I can imagine that's how you sold out in about 4 minutes. It was just too cute. And
yes,
you guys did a really good job.
our social media team are so creative and so inventive. And so being able to see that and the engagement with that particular post is hilarious. We'll have people come into the admin office and ask who's on our social media team because they want to give them a high five. So, yeah.
May I ask a question?
Yes, Trustee Heineman?
You said that it had, booked within minutes and there was a waiting list. How do people know that are on the waiting list if there's a spot for them? Do they have to come that night and see, or what?
Well, we usually let them know ahead of time if people start to drop off. But we also, if they do happen to be there while we're having the event, we might be able to fit them in.
Because I know at the mystery night, there were some empty seats.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I'm sure the library didn't know that those people weren't going to come. And it was a shame because I think there was a waiting list. So maybe recommend, if you don't have anything to do, come by and see, I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, thank you.
And I just wanted to mention that I'm excited about the teen financial literacy. Could you elaborate a little bit on what it is that they're learning there?
I don't know exactly what they'll be learning, but do you happen to know?
I believe it's just going over basics, talking about saving for the future, simplified for teens to understand what that would look like going forward if they wanted to use their money for something or save for something.
Yeah, I think that's awesome, and to learn it at an early age. It's great. Okay, we have a report given by the Friends of the Library President, President Gretchen Dowdy.
Moving into our 62nd year of supporting the library. Wow. Our bookshop makes profits of approximately $100,000 each year. That money is used yearly to help the library. Last year, we funded the following areas. Hoopla Media, $70,000. Francis Martinez Room Furniture, $47,658. Summer at Your Library, $21,094. New Book Fund, $26,000. And new aquarium and stand of $6,442. In 2024, 2025, I was amazed that our volunteers gave just a little over 10,000 hours to support our bookshop, our board, and our library. By the way, we're the highest volunteers in the whole city. Yay! Yay! The Friends of the Library were gifted the photo memorabilia and slides from Jerry Sofer. Mr. Sofer passed away in April of this year. I was contacted by his brother, Tom Sofer, letting us know that we were mentioned in Mr. Sofer's trust, that he would like the Friends of the Library to receive these items. We have about 50 boxes full of items and pictures. We will start the task of sorting, categorizing all the items received with the help of volunteers and interns. Also, Tom Sofer has given the Friends $20,000 to assist in the cost of hiring interns and supplies. I also want to thank Danielle Whittington for all her help in organizing the task and her knowledge. She's amazing. The Friends have some amazing events coming up. ReaderCon, second annual. It's free to kids to come in, and I was just told there's 66 authors, kids authors coming. So can't miss out. October 11th, the Friends will be at the city Hallow weekend. October 18th, we have our Persapalooza If you have gently used, loved purses that you don't want anymore, they can be donated. And what we do is we turn around on October 18th, that morning in the Francis Martinez room, we will have them all displayed and sorted, and we even have some really high-end purses. And all the money, again, will go back to the library. October 25th is our Mystery Crime Author Lunch. Tickets will go on sale in the next couple of weeks. November 10th, we have a Veterans Day talk. Roger Brownlow, it was a Vietnam helicopter pilot, so he will be talking. On November 22nd, Santa's going to come and visit the library. And on December 2nd, 9th, and 16th, holiday concerts at the library. We also hope you are all members of the Friends of the Library. Your membership allows you to receive our quarterly newsletter, reduced pricing on events with a cost, discounts on the first Saturday of the month, and a punch card for every $5 you spend to get free books. I hope you can attend one of our amazing events.
Well, thank you so much for that report. Trustee Hyman, did you have a comment or question?
You know, I've been a member of the board now for, I'm going on my 4th year, and I'm still in awe of what the Friends organization is able to do for the library. And I think all the library staff would agree that there would be some things that wouldn't be done because there isn't enough money. And I know that was more than $100,000 of what you read. Do you happen to have the total?
I don't.
I think
yeah,
it was
it's
something
about
like
$150,000.
Yeah, I was going to say 150, 160, I think it was.
$176,000.
Okay, we were wrong. So, okay. Anyway, I just think the Friends organization, and I would like to just put out to the public that I encourage everyone to become a member and look at all the things that the library has. They have a wide variety of events and things. Friends supports lots of them, so thank you to all the Friends out there.
Thank you.
Thank you for that report. Vice Chair Leonard?
Well, you already know I think you're awesome. So I do have to say, and you've already commended our library manager, Whittington. Under Ms. Whittington and you as the president, I don't think that in the time when my mom served on the Friends board, our foundation, my dad on the Friends board, I don't think we have ever enjoyed a relationship quite like this between the library and the Friends. And because of that relationship, there are so many things happening at the library. And I love it because I feel like now that we've gotten away from print books, especially with our adults who tend to read from their Kindles and things, it's awesome to see how many adults, you know, for example, the Gilded Pages event, how many adults want to get back into the library, not just kids. And I love it. And I don't think it would have happened without the amazing Daniel Whittington and the Friends of the Library. So thank you.
Thank you. We do have a great partnership.
Great. Trustee Tyler Hayes?
I didn't realize that the Friends have been around 62 years.
Either.
That's a long time. But I just want to thank you for all the things that you do for the library. I do enjoy the hoopla that you guys finance because it's hard sometimes to commute or travel without a real book. So it's just easier to go online and do it through Hoopla or iCloud or any of the other ways that we can read the books. But thank you guys very much.
You're welcome.
Yes, and I just want to ditto what everyone said, you know, looking forward to the Persapalooza. I know I probably said that wrong, but, and also the Vietnam pilot who's going to speak in November. I think that's one of those things that makes our library stand out.
Absolutely.
Because of these extra activities and people that you bring in. That's really awesome.
Well, and he's a Corona resident. So he's one of our Coronian.
Yeah. I was bragging about our library to one of my friends. I said, they're not like when we were growing up. This library is totally different. It's always something going on. So just want to congratulate the friends.
Well, thank you.
Okay, now we have a year in review given by the librarian Sue G. Sue.
Hello, good evening.
All right, so I'm going to start us all off, and then I'm going to pass it on to some equally amazing staff members that are here. We have Suji's. She is she's a library one for our collections department, and then Jennifer Bowserman, our library supervisor for literacy and community engagement. So first, I'm going to talk about our strategic plan and kind of where we are right now in terms of our actionable goals. So just to give you a recap, our strategic plan was approved by City Council back in November of 2024, and it's going to be our roadmap for the next 4.5 years. So we want to focus our department work plans and our programming and our collections into those 4 strategic goals, which were identified during the strategic plan process, which were strong collection and services, innovative spaces, community gathering, and library visibility. So each year has about 10 to 15 goals, and we use that to build upon the goals of the next year. And when it's all done, it's going to be this beautiful tapestry of all the wonderful things that the library can offer to our community. And it's also going to provide direction for our staff to successfully complete the strategic plan. And through that, we're having consistent communication with all of our staff. And it's just a way for us to all be on the same page when it comes to what we're doing and why we're building a better library. So right now, we're at about 13.3% total completion. We started in earnest with the strategic plan back in December of 2024. So we kind of missed out about 6 months of fiscal year 25. However, we have about 10 goals to complete for fiscal year 25, and I believe we have another I had it in my notes, 14 for fiscal year 26. So on average, like I said, we need to complete at least 15 goals per year to reach that 20% conclusion or completion for each year. At present right now, we are 67% complete for fiscal year 25, and we're going to be completing the rest in fiscal year 26. And so all of these that are on the left-hand side are the items that we've completed so far. And so for fiscal year 26, these are some of the main strategic plan goals that we are focusing on. We want to increase and enhance support and services for childcare providers. So Play Cafe fits very well into that, and potentially expanding and offering some additional resources for our childcare providers. And then electronic library card at coffee shops, healthcare facilities, laundromats. I've already reached out to some that are local and also going into Norco and Eastvale, since those are some areas that we also provide services in as well. And potentially putting a QR code on our on-the-go van. That's going to be fun. We're going to create a walking club. So I'm working with the Parks team and the Rangers to create a historic walking club, since the library is right in the heart of Corona, and there's a lot of really fun historic places. And then given the grade that the library is on, you're going to put in some steps, you're going to burn some calories getting to those fun places. So these are some of the goals that we are already working on and have some we have already completed. And so that's it for the strategic plan for fiscal year 25. I'm going to give it over to Suji, and she is going to tell you about all the wonderful things that Library Services has completed this past fiscal year. Suji?
Thank you. So I'm gonna cover what we've accomplished in library services, and the statistics I'm gonna go over are going to be based on 4 categories. So on patrons, our collections, our technology, and our services that we offer, including our volunteers. For our patrons, we've had a lot of patrons come in this year, much more than last year. We've had a total of 296,946 people come in through our doors. That's 25% more than last year. We also saw more cardholders register with the library. 71% of those people are Corona residents. Our Heritage Room, which opened up in October, also had a good showing of people coming in, people who are interested in all our heritage materials. We've had 2,536 people come in to browse and use the collection. 616 questions that they asked were answered by staff. The library collection holds more than 80,000 physical items. These collections include the new seed library that got put in. It's very popular with our patrons right now. We get a lot of seed donations and a lot of people who check out the seeds. They just write their name on the clipboard and then they can take it home and then return any seeds that they don't finish using. We also have new gardening kits that are going to go along with that. We also relocated the literacy collection over to the main floor. It used to be on the bottom level, and now it's on the main floor so that people can browse the collection more easily. We have a lot of adult classes that have ESL, citizenship prep, and adult career options. So a lot of our collections is going to focus on that. We have the new Wonder Books for adults that came in. So if they like audiobooks and reading at the same time, those are great options for them. And we also have had 499,040 uses for the databases. These include A to Z database, Novelist, ABC Mouse, and BrainFuse. And the picture up there that you see is actually from BrainFuse, which is one of the top 3 in the most used databases. It was also much more than last year in terms of usage, 31.86% more, which is a total of 158,987 uses more than last year. In addition to the seed library, we had other new collections that got added, or collection tools that got added, including Aspen Discovery, which is our new catalog page. So if you go look at the library catalog online, you're going to see the picture on the top left corner. It gives us a lot more customizations, so you might have seen like the sale version of it during summer at your library, so that we can interact with the patrons online a little bit more. It's easier to browse, and it also comes with the Aspen Lita app. The app lets you just browse through the collection through the ease on your phone, and it also gives people access to the digital version of their physical library card. So if they don't bring their card with them, they can use that, use their phone on the app to check out materials or do anything that they would typically need a card for. Our total circulation was still pretty high, but it did go down a little bit. About 8% of circulation did go down for our items. However, it was still a lot of items and over 80% of which was from our physical collection. So if you look on the graph here, you'll see more than half of it comes from children's checkouts. And then we have adults at the next highest at 56,474. And then non-books were also very popular. So anything that's not a physical book, like wonder books, kits, anything like that was very popular too, along with our team books at 12,781. Our e-media checkouts made up 16% of our, let me just check that. 16% of our checkouts. The majority of that is from Hoopla, but we did have checkouts from Palace Project, Canopy, and Cloud Library. Hoopla in particular, we really couldn't have done without the Friends. The Friends paid for the majority of our budget for Hoopla. So it's really through them that we were able to do that. Our technology uses went up as well. Computer usage went up just a slight bit compared to last year at only 4% more. But we did have a lot more people using our Wi-Fi this year at 18.5% more than last year. Our passport office had an overall increase in people making their passports. They successfully processed 6,135 passport applications, which is a 2.98% increase more than last year, and they made a total revenue of $299,071. Lastly, our volunteers contributed a lot of their hours this year. We had just a slight increase more than last year, but they did serve a total of 16,454 hours for the whole year, and that includes Friends and our sale volunteers. And then now I'm gonna turn it over.
Okay. Once again, I'm Jennifer Bowsman. I am our Literacy and Community Engagement Library Supervisor, and we're going to go over some of our programming stats for the fiscal year 25. This first picture is from our Millennial Prom Night, which we had a fantastic time at during National Library Week. And just looking at the numbers, we had fantastic growth in our programming numbers this past year. We saw growth amongst our preschool attendees as well as our school age, and then our teens and adults were pretty even from the previous year. And then program attendance by age group, break it down. Preschool is a large piece of that pie at 37%, followed by school age at 31%. And then we have our teens and we have our adults, which is also a very large chunk of that as well, which we are very happy to see. And that is a mix of our literacy program, the adult classes that we have in partnership with Corona North Unified School District Adult School, as well as the special events that we're doing for the adults as well. And total program attendance, we saw a growth this past fiscal year. The attendance was at 39,000, just over 39,000, and the number of program sessions was at 1,466. So those are all, that was 148 more sessions than the previous year, and our total program attendance went up just over 4,000 attendance as a whole. So we're very happy to see that. And just some takes a look at some of our returning programs that we did throughout the year. Read to a Dog is still incredibly popular, so we continue to offer that. They just came back a couple weeks ago for the new school year, so everybody was excited to see them. Adaptive Story Hour continues to grow. That is for our adaptive adults and caregivers, and that's offered twice a month. And our staff member, Jessica, does a fantastic job with them and with that community as a whole. Play Cafe is in its 5th or 6th year. It's still going. It's offered multiple times a year as, I believe it's an 8-week sessions. And then Maker Exchange will continue on. There will be slight changes to Maker Exchange. We're flipping the days. We're going to have the adults now on Tuesday evenings, and we're going to do the tween and teen Maker on Wednesdays to match it up with early release day. So we'll have multiple activities that the teens and tweens and all of our school age kids can choose from on Wednesdays. And then we had some newer programs that did really well throughout the year that we want to continue on with this coming year. One of those is our special event, which is Corona ReaderCon. We introduced it as a new annual special event, obviously in partnership and sponsored by the Friends of the Corona Public Library. The first year, we had about 14 authors and about 150 people that attended. This year, we're at 66 authors, and we are hoping for a much bigger growth this year. And they have plenty of stuff to choose from, and it'll be on September 28th from 1 to 5. So everybody is welcome. And last year, it had a great, we got a lot of great feedback, and people that came really did enjoy it, and the authors also had a fantastic time. And there's some more pictures from Corona ReaderCon. Questions?
I do.
Okay, go ahead, Trustee Heineman.
First of all, congratulations to the entire library staff for all the wonderful programs. I just had a question, Suji. You said that the use of the databases rose dramatically. Was there something different done that caused that to happen?
Not necessarily. A lot of those users were from A to Z databases, which has like business information, job search options. So it could have been that, or it could have been more towards people learning more about these databases. So we're giving people access to them, and they're learning about them and then sharing it with other people as well.
Okay, and just a side note, I was standing in a long line at the post office, and this woman behind me said, well, maybe you can answer this question. I thought, probably not. And she asked me, she said, do you know where I can get information about a passport? She said, because this line's too long. I went, Corona Public Library. So, let's get the word out. Stand in lines and tell people. No, it's wonderful. It's wonderful, the variety of services. And again, you all do such wonderful work, but I still think a lot of the public does not know it. And I'm glad to see in the strategic plan that that's part of your thing is the outreach. So congratulations on that.
Trustee, Vice Chair Leonard, you have any comments?
Great job, everyone. I just have one question, I think, for Ms. Whittington. What is proving to be the largest barrier in meeting our strategic plan goals each year?
Well, we've only been in the process for about 6 months. And I don't know if there's a barrier so far as, or so much as it is just, sometimes it can feel like information overload. But what's really great about our strategic plan is that it is these little, they're almost like little petite fours. They're little bite-sized goals that we can work on. And so since this is the very first strategic plan for the library, we're all getting used to having this being incorporated into not only our individual plans, but our department plans, our division plans, also the department plan. And just working at it, eating that elephant one bite at a time. I don't think that the only other issue would probably be I wish there were more hours in the day, because I know that we have the creativity and the drive to get through the goals. We need a 48-hour day, but just one of those.
And as long as you get paid for those 48 hours, right? Thank you.
Trustee Taylor Hayes, you have any comments?
I do have a comment. Thank you for all the work. It's just amazing. I noticed the collection seems to be growing in the past few years, especially this summer. I noticed it. I noticed that we also have new book club kits. They were updated, which was amazing because we're almost through all of them in the book club at the senior center that I was taking them to. And then it seems to be more current. And I like that in Hoopla, you don't have to wait for the book. When you go to iCloud, if it's not available, then you get put on the holds list, and then maybe 2 weeks later you get the book. But in Hoopla, you get the book right away. So anyway, thank you.
I wanted to thank you for your outstanding report, because everything is right there. You know, I don't have any questions because you have everything all laid out. And I know that's half of the battle, is just putting all that together and doing the comparison chart and all that. I think that's wonderful. So that's what I have to say. I think you did a wonderful job, and looking forward to all the new things coming up next season. Pardon me? Yes. One more question. Comment.
Sorry. Just because I know that this might be a question that Coronians might have. I noticed that you did provide for us the percentage of people who are Corona citizens who have a library card, and then non-residents who have a library card. Is there a difference between there two? Is there a fiscal advantage for us for providing library cards to individuals who are not from Corona proper? Or is it just, libraries are supposed to be free. I get that. But, you do have the people in Corona who are like, well, my city taxes go to that. So I'm just curious as to, is there a difference between the two, or is it just anyone who wants to apply for a card can, or are there even restrictions, like you have to live within so many miles of the library?
Good question.
There's no real restrictions, like you have to live close to the library in order to have a library card. The only real restriction is you have to be a California resident in order to have a library card. The difference in resident and non-resident really comes from, we want to make sure that we're serving the community that we're at. So by taking count of how many people are from Corona, then we can keep track of these services are going mostly to Corona citizens. There are, for example, like the zip book program is specific to Corona residents. So you have to live within the city of Corona in order to request the zip book. So that's specific to them. For a lot of other things, we provide a lot of access to everyone, resident or not. But we do want to make sure that we're focusing on our community.
Well, thank you for your report. Now we have the summer after library recap given by our library supervisor, Jennifer Bowserman.
Me again. So now we're just going to go over what we did for Summer at Your Library and all the fun stuff we had. And we had a fantastic turnout this year, and so I will go through it. We, of course, had our events and programs. We had our summer reading challenge, and we used Beanstack once again. And so we have stats and fun things for all of that. The theme this year was Level Up at Your Library, and we went fully into that theme. Anything that we could make into some sort of game, we went with that. And our LCE team is incredibly creative, and they put together all of these graphics and all of this we sometimes get graphics from the state library. We decided to go a different route, and they did a fantastic job at creating all of their own graphics for the entire summer. Events and programs. So we had everything, again, from story times to gaming nights to on-the-go programs, all of that stuff, movies. Some stuff we offered new this year, some stuff we continue to do as in previous years because our community really enjoys participating in those events. So we kicked off the summer with Magician Alexander Great. We had about 250 people that attended that program, which is a great turnout. He did a fantastic job with the kids and the adults. He took pictures at the end. There's one of a very cute kid who came all dressed up in his magician outfit. And so he got to take his picture. He did sleight of hand. He did other stuff. He did a really good job. A new thing that we added to this year's Summer at Your Library programming was Family Night Mondays. This was an opportunity to make sure that our working families still could attend programs in the evening with their kids. I know a lot of the summer programming happens during the day because the kids are out of school, but we wanted to have this opportunity as well. We broke it up into different activities. So one of the Mondays was Family Builders. That was Legos, building straws. Everybody loves Legos. They had a fantastic time with that. We had family game nights. One of the themed was giant oversized games. So you see our, we did a Hungry Hungry Hippo. So in the corner there, that is parents and kids on a skateboard with the laundry basket grabbing the balls like they are the giant size Hungry Hungry Hippo. They had a great time with it. We also had giant, I think it was like Candyland. There was multiple things as well. And then we hosted what we called Spotlight Story Times. And these were, we did two themes. One was story time all about Pokemon, and another was a story time all about Toy Story. So Spotlight is just taking one theme and going really into it, all the songs, the books, everything. And those were well attended as well. And Mini Makers is very popular. We brought that back this year. This year they did activities such as the dinosaur puzzles. They made giant dice. We did pixel art. They did like a life-size like maze that they had to get through. You see that in the corner all the way on the right-hand side. And they're in a team trying to work to get the ball or whatever it was through the maze. They did a great job with that. Those are very highly attended. We have anywhere between like 60 to 100 participants in each of those weekly. Our staff does a great job at kind of organizing that and managing the chaos. We had some fun stuff for the teens. They got really into the Super Mario Brothers tournament. We had cardboard creations where they made combat tools out of cardboard. We also invited a company that had a game truck and laser tag. So we turned the community room into a laser tag zone. We had one kid who spent 45 minutes playing laser tag and didn't stop playing. His dad was so excited. He's like, this is the most activity he's had. And the kid just stayed in there and played everybody laser tag. And then the game truck parks on the curb, and then they have access to Wii and Xbox and PlayStation. They had the little racing cars on the outside of the truck, so we had a great time with that. With that, we also had bingo going on in the community room, which was also hugely popular. We had like 65 people playing bingo, maybe in a room that is not meant for 65 people. But we did a good job at rotating people, and everybody got a chance to play bingo. And adult programs. So we had our regular, we had the opportunity, we did adaptive story hour. We continued that throughout the summer. We introduced a coding class. We did a 4-week coding class. It had about 4 to 5 people, but they were very into it, and it was the first time we had offered something like that, so we were very happy with the turnout. We continued Dungeons and Dragons throughout the summer as well. And then we had our special murder mystery, which was very, very well attended. And I know that we've heard a lot of great feedback from that program. So definitely something that we will think about again for the future. And then we did a speed puzzle competition, and that went over really well too. And they got to race to see who could finish the puzzle first. And we did our on the go during the summer. We have on the go in the morning. One of the days is at a splash pad, and then we did a second day at a different park. We had staff that were very, very excited about doing a Dungeons and Dragons for littles and introducing them to that style of gaming. And I think we have a video on the next page. Our outreach staff, Dario, he took one for the team, and he was the dragon. And let's see if the video plays. So yes, Dario did a fantastic job being the dragon. And some program stats with regarding, we had 208 programs offered overall. 82 of those programs were for children. 8 programs were specifically for teens. Teens are also more than welcome to join any of the children's programs as well. We never turn them away, but we do also focus programs specifically for teens. And then we had 118 programs for adults. That does include the CNUSD adult school classes. We did summer session this year for the first time. It went really well, and they were, as the first time CNUSD adult school usually shuts down completely for the summer. So they didn't offer any programs on their site, but they offered them at the library because we had the space available. And then we did 27 off-site programs, and those include on the go at the parks. Martin also goes to adventure camp with our kids club team, and he does some programs with them as well. So that's another opportunity. We had 11,284 total attendees. That's up 13% from last year, which is fantastic. We love to see the growth. And then our summer reading challenge also did very well this year, and we saw growth for that as well. This is the reading portion of the Summer at Your Library program. We do offer it through Beanstack, and it is available for all ages. And once they hit their reading milestones, they can come in and pick up prizes. We had some pretty cool prizes this year. We gave away a lot of prizes this year, which we are very happy about. We also did our grand prize drawing, and they got to win some cool stuff. And we did that the last day of Summer at Your Library. We had 1,690 total readers registered for our summer reading program this year. We gave away 4,787 prizes. Those included the toys that you saw, as well as books, and as well as coupons that were given from local sponsors as well. We had a goal of 1.5 million minutes to read, and we've surpassed that. So we're at over just 1.6 million minutes read, which is fantastic. So we saw a 4.6 growth in total readers, about a 7% growth in prize distributed, and a little over 8% growth in the minutes read. So what we have found that we like so much about Beanstack is that people are completing the program more. So several years ago, we have had higher registration numbers, but there was a lot of people that just never did anything after they registered. By registering with Beanstack, they are keeping track of their minutes, they're finishing, they're coming in. So we had more prizes claimed, and we also had 58% of readers logged at least 400 minutes, which is great growth than previous years. Perhaps because of the way the app works, or because it's on their phone, it's easier. People are finishing. We also have, the way we do our points is you finish at 1,200 minutes, but you can get the bonus prize, which is at 2,400 minutes. We had a lot of people that read all the way to the 2,400 minutes. We almost gave away every single book that we had to give away, because you get another book once you get to 2,400 minutes. So people were collecting those books. They were finishing that program, which is fantastic. And we like to see that continue to grow. And we now have continued our goal to get more and more readers throughout, to register more for next year. And we can't do summer without volunteers. And our volunteers, they work the summer reading booth. They're called summer reading assistants. We had 37 of those. That was a mix of teen volunteers and adults. They worked 566 hours just in the 8 weeks of summer, which is fantastic. And that was about a 14% growth from 2024. And of course, you can't have summer reading without a finishers party. And it was carnival themed. We invited this very large blow up carnival tent that had 5 games in it. Patrons got to play carnival games. We also had a basketball game blow up that was in the middle of the library. It was in the library. We had, and then they earned tickets for playing the games, and then they got to go shop with the tickets to get like fun carnival prizes. We had over 400 people that came to that. We had our popcorn machine was being used. We had cotton candy. So everybody had a great time. One of our staff members apparently has a skill of balloon animals. So we learned that. That was fantastic. She made 2 things. You either got a sword or you got a dog. Or I think it was a giraffe or a dog or something. But it was just really random. She was like, I can make balloon animals. We're like, okay, we'll buy you balloons. And of course, our sponsors, the Friends, obviously is a huge, huge part of Summer at Your Library. We cannot do it without them. We also got coupons from Raising Cane's, In-N-Out Burger, Rockin' Brews, Texas Roadhouse, Red Robin, Lazy Dog, and iPlayology all provided coupons for our summer reading finishers. And is there any questions?
Trustee Heineman?
I'm tired just seeing what you did. And again, the whole staff at the library is so creative and so dedicated to making it a fun event and making the library, a place to come with the variety of activities. So congratulations to all of you.
Thank you.
Trustee Leonard?
I agree. Looking at all of that, I don't know when you guys had time to sleep or breathe. That was a lot of work, and it was clearly well received. It looked like every event that you had was well attended. And so when we go back to the year in review, I'm kind of shocked by the fact that we went down in numbers on both teens and adults, because it looked like you had full rooms and everything regardless of age level. And so I just kudos to you and your team.
Trustee Tyler Hayes?
Yes, thank you very much. Summer at the library was fun because you included adults this year. So I want to put my vote in for the murder mystery again and the speed puzzle competition. Those were the 2 events that I attended. So thank you very much. It was fun summer.
Yeah, me too. And I had a question about the reading. Is there a way that you can find out, like perhaps from the teachers or the school district, if those kids who participate, if their reading level goes up?
Yeah, I don't know about the reading level. Obviously, the goal is always to maintain it at least, so there's not that summer slide that we've talked about for many years. BeanStack, though, we do ask for school when they input. So we did have Lincoln, Eisenhower, and Susan B. Anthony had the highest registration and participation in summer in the reading challenge portion. So it is great to have that information and we can use it. We are going to a goal that had happened several years ago that we want to bring back is we would give an award for the school that had the most participation. We'd like to bring that back. So we are focusing that for this year to get more of that information out to the school and kind of make it like a competition. And then whatever school wins, they get like a little trophy that they keep in their library all summer or all school year. So we are hoping to bring that back.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just looking at all your stats. I mean, something has to show. I know the parents would know and all of that, but yeah, that's a great idea, I think. And it seems like it was very well organized. I'm piggybacking on what everybody else said. It took a team to put all of that together. like you said, we're tired.
Yeah.
In a good way.
And 100%, and I thanked the library staff already, but I want to make it clear that it's not just the programming staff. Like when you go through, obviously the programming staff facilitated the programs, but a summer like that, that's everybody that's on desk. That's all of our shelving and reservation staff who have to set up our program rooms. It's all of the extra books that get checked out and have to be reshelved. It literally takes the entire library to do that program every year. And everybody did a fantastic job.
So now, is the library closed during that time?
Nope. It's just regular library hours. We're just offering programs throughout the day because the kids are out of school. But no, the library itself still functions. So that's also on top of that, there's staff that is running the library just as normal. And during the summer, there's always different, because of the heat and stuff, it's just the library is kind of a different place during the summer. But yeah, it takes literally every single person in that building to get it done.
Well, that's awesome. That's awesome. That's really great. So thank you so much for all of your work. I really appreciate it. Are there any more comments from any of our board members? Pardon me? Anything. We're getting ready to adjourn. Yeah, sure, go ahead.
I feel like I'm in school. I need to raise my hand. So first of all, what you're telling me, Jennifer, is that if we bring back that trophy for the competing schools, Trustee Liddell and I will be at odds because we're at two separate.
Yes.
Oh, bring it on. She's not here, I can say that. Sorry, Leslie. I do have a quick question. I do know that our Francis Aldama Martinez community room can be rented and used by the general public of Corona for events. Is there a way to find out how frequently that occurs?
Yes, I can pull those stats. Yeah. Do you have a particular year that you want those numbers?
No, I'm just curious to see how frequently it occurs and whether or not people in Corona realize that they can utilize that room, that community room, obviously priority going to library functions, but is it being underutilized in that regard, or is it increasing in utilization in the same way that our programs are and everything else?
I know off the top of my head that there are a lot of events that happen on Saturdays and Sundays. Obviously, we have a church that rents it out for Sundays, but Saturdays we have birthday parties, baby showers. So there are varying groups that do use the space for varying different reasons, meetings and so on and so forth. So I will pull those stats for you for the last fiscal year and I'll email those to you.
And then I do just have a quick question in regards to that then. Since they're renting out the library space, and I know some of that money, and I know it's not a huge moneymaker, but and some of that goes to paying for the personnel that's manning the library at that time. Does the library save that money, or does that go into a fund for community services?
I believe that goes back into the general fund, but I will direct that back to Director Finch to correct me.
Yes, it does. It goes back into the general fund. All of our reservation revenues for all of our facilities go into a general fund revenue account. But those monies, of course, are put back into the city, and community services in the library benefit from that.
Trustee Heineman?
Yeah, not elaborate, but could you just give us an update of anything new as far as timeline for the rehab of the library and the Innovation Center, especially the HVAC system?
So the HVAC system, we're finally on track to, actually, we're working with Public Works to get it all fixed. Also, the elevator, we finally figured out how to work with Public Works to get a statement of work done so that we can send it to bid. So we'll probably see the elevator being fixed before the HVAC, but that is still very much a priority for the library, making sure that it is comfortable not only for our patrons, but it doesn't degrade any of our books and other special materials that are inside.
You have an idea of the HVAC so I can tell Mr. Gold?
I can comment on that. So it is a approved capital improvement project for this fiscal year. We have another HVAC system that we are working on that has been in the queue a little longer. That's at the Police Department Administration Building. That one is geared up and ready to move forward, and then the library HVAC is right behind it. So we're hoping before the end of this calendar year, we should have contract approval to be able to move forward, and then we should start to see some work beginning in 2026, early 2026. We still need to do a complete assessment to find out exactly everything that needs to be done, but the funding is there and it's secured. It's just now putting it in the queue because we only have so many resources in our project management team that can handle these projects moving forward. But the good thing is we have a new project manager in Public Works who is a mechanical engineer. She has expertise in HVAC systems, in elevators. She has helped us make significant progress on these two projects. So we are much more optimistic now that we're going to see this one move forward very soon.
Good news. Thank you.
Yes. Okay, well, thank you. I think that was a very productive meeting. Very informative. Thank you, everybody who contributed to today's meeting. And we adjourn this meeting at 6:39. Our next meeting of the Library Board of Trustees will be on September 23rd, 2025 at 5:30. Thank you.